Alright everybody, welcome back to the third game of our first episode. Score is 1-1. Bioterra coming back with a vengeance in game 2 and really just crushing Aniketos.
He knew what to expect and he exploited it. Aniketos elected not to change up his strategy too much, which left him vulnerable to, basically it was like he had his playbook.
Yeah.
He took out the power farm early, eliminated the quick Razorback threat. Got the anti-vehicle early game to completely destroy the Razorbacks, and game was pretty much downhill from there.
Yeah. I would expect Aniketos to start changing things up now.
The one thing I want to see him change is the Devastator Bolter and the Plasma Can squad. They're not quite doing it for him. I think his resources could be spent a little better, and in this case, a little different. You want to do something different to sort of set Bioterra off his preferred path.
Yeah, because you've got to assume Bioterra's doing the same thing now. The way it worked last game.
Exactly. But that kind of mindset is what got Aniketos in trouble in game 2.
True. That is why it's so much fun to be playing 3 games instead of 1 for this thing.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's unpause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause.
All right, so if you were to change up for Bioterra, what would you do?
I don't know. At this point, I think his 3 Guardian strat is actually working well. What it really comes down to is how successful is he in attacking the Space Marines power farm. And I don't know.
We saw in game 2 a large consolidation of forces by Aniketos, but away from the power farm, which really opened that up.
Yeah.
I expect Aniketos to be more ready for that this time. And he opens with the tack squad, so he's doing exactly what I wanted him to do, ignoring that Devastator Bolter, trying to play more conventional Space Marine play.
I was going to say maybe getting early warp throw gauntlets, which is something I love and something that's kind of annoys me. Bioterra is completely annoying. But, if Aniketos had gone for that initial Devastator squad, that warp throw would have just, completely invalidated it. But that apparently is not the case. And his Force Commander is ripping the Guardians apart. Somewhat expected there.
Yeah, and he's got the tax to back him up there, so superiority of arms for Aniketos in that opening fight. However, Bioterra was able to cap the North victory point.
Well, you're a Space Marine player playing against an Eldar. Sort of got to expect that.
Absolutely. Bioterra with the initial power advantage. Aniketos, you have to build a power generator.
I think that's where the big difference between the Devastator squad and the Tac squad goes in. Last couple games we saw him with a full power farm before Bioterra did it.
He's got enough requisition to have the full power farm at this point. He must be going for a second Tac squad.
That might work.
If that's the case, then he'll be rocking early missile launchers to effectively counter early Falcons.
Yeah.
If that's what we see.
This task squad out in the open right now and is really having some trouble. Yeah, there it goes.
He's trying to get in close to melee the Guardian squad, which is good, but not in a situation where you've got 2 perimeter Guardian squads also shooting at you, because the one you're chasing is able to cut you around.
Yeah. Scouts are actually pretty good at that, I find. If they get into a melee with the Guardian squad, they just tend to tear it apart.
Yeah, that's just a testament to the
crappiness
the
of Guardians.
Guards. Yeah. I was trying to think of a way to say that right as to not upset our Eldar players, but you took it right away.
Guardians are great once you get to Tier 2, once you get the battle gear upgrades, and once you get a Warlock. But before that, they sort of suck.
So, 2 tac squads out, then the first generator. Let's see how this works for Aniketos.
I have a feeling that these Guardian squads are all going to start dying very quickly.
He's going to get that grenade off on the generator, though. The one lonely generator that Aniketos did manage to squeak out.
Yeah, the second one gets triple teamed by 2 tac squads and a Force Commander.
I'm surprised he didn't take more losses than he did.
Yeah. So Aniketos definitely not wanting to lose any power generators this time.
So this should be a period in the game where Aniketos is booming with military superiority, having invested all of his resources into 2 early tack squads. So nothing at this point should really give him pause out on the field. So let's see how much he can capitalize on that in terms of map control and lockdown power.
Yeah.
One thing is that just the unupgraded tack squads, they do almost nothing to generators without any kind of grenade, flamethrower, or anything like that. They really can't do anything to for meaningful generator harass.
Yeah. And we do have a Tier 2 upgrade from Bioterra, but very little power right now, and he's spending it on upgrading his Guardian squads, it looks like.
I don't
So
know how
no
Aniketos was
Falcon
able
or
to
Wraith
upgrade
Lord.
himself to Tier 2, but he was able to get that off.
Looks like we have a couple upgrades for the Warlock Commander as well, most notably the Psychic Shield.
As he goes one-on-one with the Force Commander, who appears unupgraded.
But still winning, apparently. Well, no. I mean, look at that shield. Each strike from the Force Commander does, like, 4 damage to it.
Yeah, shields in this game right now, they need some sort of modification to their damage coefficient taken.
Yeah. Because that's just silly.
It is.
And it looks like we did get a power generator destroyed there. Unless I'm much mistaken.
No, that's definitely not the original Lonely Power Generator. This is a new Lonely Power Generator.
Yep. So it looks like one of these Guardian squads snuck in there while we weren't looking and naded it.
So what we need to see from Aniketos right now is he's got to consolidate his tack squads. Leaving that Force Commander out to fight the Guardian solo unupgraded was a recipe for basically an idle unit and eventually a defeated unit.
Yeah.
He's got his tacks together and with the Sergeant upgrade now. So that's what I like to see. Got the Force Commander in there with him.
This Warlock's going to have to book it pretty quickly. Looks like he's just trying to buy time for...
he's just stalling so he can get the grenades on the generator, which looks successful.
Yep.
The remaining generator is down, so Aniketos is going to have almost no power to work with.
Well...
Oh, wow. Triple deployed.
Yeah, so much for that.
But still, I mean, that's 5 generators that Aniketos has built at this point, so, I mean... he's had no meaningful power output, and yet he's still spent 500 requisition on generators.
Yeah, but I mean, he's already got 2 tack squads out, fully upgraded with sergeants, and one of them has a missile launcher now.
Right. This tactic of running your guardians around, capping the VPs while you keep the tack marines distracted will only work for so long. At some point, you are going to have to actually fight these tack squads, and
that's not going to be easy.
He's going to need something significant to be able to do that, seeing as though they already have a missile launcher on them, an early Falcon here. Well, I guess it's not that early at this point, but a Falcon without shields will drop fairly quickly without substantial micro.
Yeah. I think actually a better choice here would be a Wraith Lord, because we've only got 1 missile out right now. And, I mean, you can pretty much bum rush that squad with a Wraith Lord tied up in melee and cause a lot of damage.
However, we can pretty much expect to see Aniketos counter that with an immediate upgrade to Power Fist.
True.
If he can muster the power, which I'm pretty sure he can now, as his 3 generators still stand. But the Guardians are rushing them once again.
And I think we do actually have a Falcon coming from Bioterra. Sticking to the original plan, and interesting, we have the...
Oh, we got the hammer.
We have the hammer. Could this be a prelude to the Bubble Boy?
I don't know. It's always a tough choice for me when I play. Do I want to get the bubble first or get the hammer first? And usually the hammer does it for me against a lot of infantry, which we are seeing right now. But I'm worried that the hammer came late in that now that he's finally got the hammer, he's going to be fighting vehicles.
Yeah. Plus, it's not so useful against ranged armies. I mean, with Orcs and Tyranids, you can pop your Battle Cry special ability and just do the AoE attack over and over and over.
Right. I mean, it made the Force Commander slightly better at kicking the crap out of Guardians, but he was already pretty decent at kicking the crap out of Guardians.
And he's tossing them around like pinballs right now.
Meanwhile, the dual missile attacks take out a generator real quick. However, they did not fire on the Falcon.
Ooh, double nade there on the retreating tax. Doesn't kill anybody.
But it did force him to get the hell out of Dodge, so...
Yeah, I think they were already retreating before that, so...
So the Falcon took absolutely no damage in that fight, so it maintains itself at full health, and the generator that was destroyed is now being rebuilt.
Still, I think Aniketos is doing relatively well. I mean, with 2 missile squads, it's going to be really, really tough for Bioterra to use that Falcon offensively, even if he gets to tier 3 and gets the shield.
I mean, I've seen 2 missile attacks make quick work of Carnifexes, so anything short of the shield is going to make that Falcon look like it's made out of tinfoil.
Yeah, and we've actually got a 3rd tech squad out right now.
I would almost say it's overkill if you got a missile on that one, however. That's a lot of... I mean, every time you upgrade the missile on attack squad, you're reducing the number of bolters by, 25% if you had as a sergeant, more so without it. So I'd hold off on upgrading the weapon on that last attack squad unless we see that Bioterra firmly commits to a vehicle-centric strategy.
Yeah, I would assume maybe a plasma gun would be best for it right now. But
those plasma guns drop heavy infantry. It's devastating.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the force commander's hammer looking to toss around some more guardians.
Nice, and we are up to tier 3 from Bioterra. Not quite sure what he's going to do here. He's building something, but I haven't really been paying attention. I'm guessing it's a D cannon.
All right. Well, Aniketos decided to go against my advice and get a 3rd missile launcher. So vehicles are not going to be effective.
Not at all, apparently. Yeah, there's the D cannon. Eldar really are kind of screwed when it comes to countering attack squads because they lack a sort of heavy infantry unit beyond the hero that can be relied on to do decent damage.
Mm-hmm.
If Banshees didn't die to a stiff breeze, unless they were fortunate and fighting someone who was doomed, really your only option is vehicles, which, as you said, are not going to be helpful right now at all, or artillery.
I think that's what Aniketos sort of picked up on from Game 2, is that he needs something to counter those vehicles, and his lack of tac squads is what did it. So he decided to say, screw it, let's go with 3 missile tacs.
Yeah, but they get forced off pretty quick by that D cannon.
Yep, he was trying to blow up his infantry to try to lock down that key area of the map here on Civil Frontier where you can sort of contest both victory points from the same location. So that's a great spot for the D cannon.
But yeah, that D cannon is causing tons of trouble for Aniketos. And it's worth it to point out, while this has been happening, there's been a lone Guardian squad down south destroying Aniketos' power farm again. And
I've lost count of how many generators he's lost at this point.
I think we're up to like 5.
He had 5 and he lost 2, so that it should be either 4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
So that Falcon is actually full health, full shields. So the missile attacks were completely knocked back by that D cannon and unable to get off any sort of significant amount of missiles.
Yeah. I would think the best choice right now would be to maybe get an assault squad out. Get something that can jump that D cannon.
Definitely, it can jump the D cannon. It can also use melted bombs to stop the Falcons and make them extremely vulnerable to the missile attacks.
Yeah.
So that'd be a good choice. However, they do cost 550 requisition, so he's gonna have to hold off on taking too many casualties from the D cannon because every Space Marine he loses is another 83 requisition he's got to pay.
Yeah, well, this sort of plan of going straight up the gut against the D cannon isn't very good, I don't think. Oh, but he's actually going to get it in melee with his force. No, I spoke too soon.
No, force commander drops.
Oh.
But the missiles are cutting through these Falcons right now.
Yeah, well, one goes down.
Advancing on the next.
And he's gotten his TAC Marines out of the line of fire of that D cannon, I think. Unfortunately, they're not out of the line of fire for his own artillery. Or the D cannon.
He's got the They Shall Know No Fear active, so it's going to reduce the amount of damage they take, but they're still getting knocked back and therefore not firing missiles. They do get a missile off, but they shoot and miss against the D cannon.
Yeah,
so
that's not very helpful.
They've got nothing left. They've got nothing left to gain in that fight, so they might as well just retreat.
That's a lot of requisition lost. Ooh, Sergeant gets hit with the D cannon mid-air.
Was that the D cannon or was that his own plasma cannon?
Well, he got hit by the plasma cannon squad, which launched him up into the air, and then the D cannon hit him.
Okay, so we've got artillery countering artillery right now. Both are set up in a good situation to cover that VP, but right now Bioterra controls it, so that's going to give him the advantage.
Yep. And right now that squad going down to the Warlock here.
Devastator gets away with just one unit left on its squad.
And this Force Commander's down to sub 100 health again. And there he goes. He's
going to get away, but barely. He was wishing he had that bubble right about then.
Yeah. This D cannon is just causing so many problems for Aniketos. He just can't get close.
Meanwhile, Bioterra having the extra Guardian squad to spare to go take the vacant southern victory point. And I bet after he does that, he's going to go poke and prod at the power farm yet again.
Yeah. And Aniketos is actually getting quite low on the VPs here, passing the 150 mark very soon. Maybe a sniper out on that squad. Infiltrated around the back of the D cannon.
If he can afford it at this point. I mean, he's spending a lot reinforcing these squads.
Well, I mean, just even maybe get shotguns infiltrated around the back of this D cannon, get the D cannon in melee, and then rush up the middle.
Certainly a lot cheaper of an alternative than the assault squad would be.
Yeah.
So if that's not feasible, then nothing is.
Well, we actually do have a Wraith Lord out. Not sure how big an impact that's going to make.
Yeah, the missiles will cut it down if it decides to come anywhere close.
Oh, and he's got these scouts up north sitting there doing nothing. They're not even capping the VP.
Yeah, he got the teleporter on that Force Commander. That's a better choice than the scouts.
That'll work. He actually just killed the D cannon there.
Immediately.
But he did kill the D cannon.
That's a tough sacrifice to make, but
and he's going to get the Falcon here too, and I don't know, maybe the Wraith Lord. He's got two of these units in melee right now, so.
It's got They Shall Know No Fear ability active, so the Wraith Lord, his effectiveness will be cut significantly. Meanwhile, he managed to get the other missile attack squad back and far away from both the Wraith Lord and the Warlock, so it's able to fire freely against the Wraith Lord. Meanwhile, the Guardians that did cap the victory point are
coming around south,
countering that.
And we're actually running out of VPs right now. Aniketos down to 30.
He's got a chance here if he can cap this, but I don't think he's ever going to get the opportunity.
No, there goes the Devastator Plasma Squad. And
Force Commander back yet again. He's dumped a lot of resources into getting that Force Commander back.
He needs to decap that middle VP, like, right now. He's running out of time. I mean, he holds the north pretty easily.
He did end up getting the sniper rifles on the scouts up there. They are not doing anything. They need to make it. Okay, the attack squad is charging the central VP, but they've got a grenade on them. That's going to prevent them from capping.
We're down to 6.
He's going to lose without being defeated.
Oh, jeez. Just as the Warlock goes down, too.
This is about as close as any game could be.
You've got to love those games where you know if you had just 30 more seconds, you would have won.
If the victory points were 550 instead of 500?
Yeah. Because, I mean,
yeah,
most of Bioterra's army just went up in flames in that battle. I mean, he was just holding on by a thread.
He was suiciding Guardians forward just to get grenades off on the attack squad to keep him from capping in time, which was a smart move. I mean, given what he had, that's all he needed to do. You hate to see a 3-game series need another game, but man, that was a tight one.
Yeah. All right, so this actually was a pretty good matchup to start us out, I thought.
Absolutely. Great inaugural episode for us.
Yeah. And we actually got different strategies, stuff like that. People doing radically different things throughout the game. So hopefully this will set the tone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, the one thing I really enjoyed about it was sort of the chess match that is the altering your strategy between games. You know, you obviously know what your opponent brought to the table in game 1, so he tries to change things up in game 2. Obviously, we saw a radically different strategy from Aniketos in game 3, which almost paid off.
I'd actually say it did pay off. I mean, if he had just paid a little bit
compared to game 2, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if he had 30 more seconds here, he would have won. Or if he had just done a couple things differently in like the last 20 seconds of the game, he would have been able to decap that middle and I don't think Bioterra would have been able to take it back.
It would have been a close call. I mean, I hate to count him out, given that he still had 372 victory points remaining. That would be a long game to last with a mere 10 VPs or whatever he would have had.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, an absolutely great opening game for us. Thank you very much to Aniketos and Bioterra for starting us off on such a high note.
Definitely. And for everyone, and congratulations to Bioterra for being our first King of the Hill as well.
So he'll be advancing into episode 2.
Yes, he will. And I believe he'll be facing Warrior of Oak. And I have no idea if Warrior's going to go Tyranids or Orc.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, absolutely.
I mean, it really depends, I guess, on how much he wants to win. Orcs... I mean, because if you want to win, you play Tyranids. I mean, that's sort of the way the balance goes right now.
I know Dark ZZ would definitely argue with you on that one, but
all right,
we'll see what happens.
Thank everybody for listening. Comments, constructive criticism, all that is welcome. We're obviously sort of new to this, but I think we did pretty well here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, definitely. I thought we covered it about everything I wanted to cover.
All right. So, hope you all enjoyed the show, and I hope you all look forward to our next episode in 2 weeks. This has been Bentguru
and Solid.
And this has been the first episode of Battle for Supremacy, and we hope there will be many more.